The ink is black, the page is white. Together we learn to read and write. A child is black, a child is white. The whole world looks upon the sight. A beautiful sight. Three Dog Night, folks. One of my old favorites. Uh oh, air raid. Maybe I have to turn the light off. Bombers will be going over. Well, I'm gonna risk it. Anyway, yeah, Three Dog Night. I think I had all their albums. Actually, I should say I have all their albums, but they're in a crate up in the attic somewhere, probably being chewed up by mice. Anyway, that's not what you came here to talk about today, is it? I was thinking about a high school memory. Oh, by the way, hope you all had a nice Thanksgiving. Remember to enjoy your friends and family while you have them. Uh, anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, high school. Because I've been trying to think of things that might be of interest to people to talk about. And I was remembering an incident from I'd have to be 10th grade, where those of you who went to school with me would remember Mr. Staggy. He was a English teacher. I only ever had him for speech class. And this also involves another teacher, Coach Pursuta, who was the gym teacher and football coach at the time. And I remember one time in speech class, we were given like 3 minute speeches or whatever. And the one kid went up front to give his speech. And I remember who it was, but I won't bother outing him here. Um, but he had just gotten started in his speech, and Pursuta came up the hall and just came into the class, and he started heckling the kid. And at first, a lot of us were laughing, and the kid obviously got upset. You know, it's not easy for most people to get up and talk in front of groups anyway. And then to have something like this happen. And I think, I'm not for sure, but I think this kid, he actually might have, Pursuit might actually have been one of the teachers he liked, so that would have made it worse for him. But it became rather obvious that Pursuta was drunk. And I remember Staggy, who, I don't know, he always seemed to be, oh, and I don't know, what, not real personable. I don't know what you'd, not, he seemed, stern, I guess. At least that's what my memory is. But he showed a lot of compassion. He went up and told the kid to go ahead and take his seat. And then I don't remember exactly. I think he, Staggy that is, I think he kind of escorted Pursuit out into the hall, told him not to interrupt his class. And he came in and he made some sort of comment about this sort of thing should not happen. Kind of a who the hell does that guy think he is? I just remember looking back on that. He's right. That sort of thing should not happen. And I tell you, I also looking back at it, I feel bad for being one of the kids that was laughing at the beginning. But anyway, just a little memory for those of you who went to school with me around the same time. You'll know the people involved, and I'm pretty sure it was the very next year that Coach Hoover came in and took over football and gym class. And I gotta wonder if incidents like this had something to do with pursuit of going down the road. Anyway, that's that story, and that being that that's short, I'm going to mention a couple other things while I have you, my loyal viewers. Um, and I know, there's not a lot of people watching my ramblings, but I do appreciate those of you who do. If you come here and enjoy it, sometimes you might learn something by accident, usually. Hopefully, you are entertained at times. My favorite YouTuber is a guy that goes by David Finkel, and he does what are generally um, referred to as audits, First Amendment audits, where they go out and they'll film in the streets and see if people try to tell them they're not allowed to film in public, but that's another thing. But anyway, he was on one of his videos, he was reading comments on a video he'd done, and he mentioned me, and he said, Muxter does YouTube also. He says he does a different thing than me. He says he just like talks to the camera, and he said if you check him out, he said something along the lines of he's interesting and sometimes funny. And when I was watching his video and heard that, I laughed. And then he like corrected himself and said, "Oh, I should say he's often funny." But I really thought he was right the first time. Anyway, but that's I think what I provide. Sometimes interesting, sometimes funny. Sometimes you say, "What the hell is he talking about?" So I just wanted to mention for those of you that do watch, you few, you happy few, you band of brothers, a little Shakespeare there for you. Uh, anyway, if you have things you'd like to hear me talk about, tell me. You know, uh, if we share some memories, go ahead and comment or something and say, "Hey, remember that time that I don't know, that football game when this happened, or that time that we went to Atlantic City, which I already did a video about that, or hey, remember that party where this happened?" Whatever. Let me know, and I'll try to at least have a few minutes worth of story for it. The other thing I was thinking of mentioning while I have time, when I started this, I kind of made a pledge that it wasn't going to be politics. Now, sometimes it's unavoidable for a little bit of politics to slip in. Like I just recently did a video about school shootings and stuff, and I mean, just the nature of the beast, there's going to be a little bit of politics involved. But I was thinking, especially with the election year coming up, it might be hard for me to avoid politics completely. So this is something I will pledge to you. If I do one that is primarily about politics, I'll put a disclaimer in the uh, what's the word I want? The description under the video. So if you look and I say, warning, this one's very political, then if you don't want to hear it, go ahead and skip it. Um, but if you want to hear me talk about politics, that's another thing. There are some things I talk about that might seem like they're political, but they're really not. Like I did one about how I'm not too pleased with our local state representative, but that was more about his inability to do his job to my satisfaction rather than about his political leanings. One of these days, I think I'm going to do a video about my experience of our former town mayor. And just because she was a mayor doesn't mean it'll be political. If anything, it'll be more farcical because she was a very farcical character. Hope I use that term correctly. But who cares? I mean, let's be honest, the type of people who watch this video aren't going to know what it means. Just kidding. I know you shouldn't insult your audience, especially when it's this small. Anyway, uh, like I said, I think this will be coming out the day after, or maybe a couple days after Thanksgiving. So I hope you had a good time. I hope you had good food. Hope you didn't have any fights with crazy uncles or any of that stuff. Never did understand why Thanksgiving is kind of known for family fights. It's like, one of the happiest days of the year, one of the best meals of the year. Why is it that it seems to bring out the worst in people sometimes? It's like, I mean, I I was born. I forget. I think exactly. I think I was born in like 1905. So I've seen a lot of holidays and family gatherings, and I just don't understand why you'll have a couple of 40-year-olds sitting around and someone says something like, "You know what? This is just like when we were 10 years old and you tore the head off of my doll," or whatever. It's like, get over it. Anyway, folks, I think that's about all. I see I'm at about the 12.5 minute mark, and I am trying to keep these at least under 15 minutes anymore because I know what people's attention span's like. I think I'm going to do a video on the attention span, but that's a whole another thing. I'm not going to get into that now. Uh, so, Christmas is coming. Looking forward to that, everybody. And again, another time to appreciate your friends and family while you still have them. Have happy holidays and peace out.